Hi guys, thanks for coming back to my channel for video number 2. So today we're going to discuss basically my grad school process. I'm going to start off by defining a few terms that you may hear throughout this video, so that you know no one's confused. And if you see me like looking down, it's because I have some notes with me. So, oh baby, I need to see because I ain't got my contacts. I don't have my contacts in. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by defining a scholarship. So a scholarship is a payment made to a student to support their education, and it can be given to someone on the basis of academic merit, like having good grades, or it may be from different activities you do on campus, or whatever the case may be. But so a scholarship is basically money that's paid to you to support your education. Next, I'm going to define an assistantship. So an assistantship is a paid academic appointment that is given to a graduate student for being a teacher's assistant or a research assistant. So the difference between a scholarship and an assistantship is that an assistantship requires work. So you're getting paid to be a research assistant or a teacher's assistant. Where a scholarship, you don't necessarily have to do work besides like kind of get good grades or whatever the requirements are for that scholarship. The last word I'm going to define is a stipend. So a stipend is a fixed payment that comes as a salary or maybe on a bi-weekly basis, a monthly basis. And it's just an allowance basically to keep you afloat and able to take care of yourself. So for example, I get a monthly stipend, and with that money I'm able to sustain my living, because in grad school, like, they don't really want you to work. So yeah. So now we can get to grad school 101. Okay, let's start off with talking about the grad school process. The first step is finding your graduate school, and so I'm just going to tell you how I did things. Let's do a small disclaimer.
I'm not Google, I'm not expert, so I'm just going to share my experience. If you do things a different way, or if you've been advised to do things a different day, live your life. Like, I'm just here to share my story. So, you know, this is not the formula to grad school. I'm just going to tell you how I got here. Okay.
So, finding your graduate school. Finding your graduate school. So what I did, because location really mattered to me, I looked at basically where I wanted to kind of live for the next couple of years. And I know I wanted to go south, and being from Chicago, I needed a break from the cold, a break from north. Like, you know, I'm in school, like, why not live somewhere that I've never lived before? Like, why not? So I knew I wanted to go south, so I applied to schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, as well as here, Texas. So I would say, if like demographics is really, or is it geography? I don't think demographics is the right word, but you get it. If location is an important like thing for you, I would look at schools that have the program that you're interested in doing your postgraduate education. And after you do that, it's important to find a researcher that you would like to work closely with. So this researcher, depending on like your program, is going to be the person that like advises you and that you work closely with. So you want this person to have research that follows along with your interests, or vice versa. Someone you can feel like you can grow from, and that can really push you and do what you need to be done, so when you graduate you can get on the job market. And all of that is really going to be found out through communication. So what was suggested of me was that, and everyone else that I knew who was applying to graduate school, is to make sure that you email your potential advisors. So any researchers, professors that you see on these websites, these university websites, it's important that you are emailing them, one, to let them know that you're interested, so you can learn more about them, they can learn more about you, you can learn more about their labs. But also it's important to make sure you're communicating, but because your dream school may reject you, but it may not be because of your credentials. It may be because the research that you wanted to work closely with, they may not be in town for a couple of years. They may be doing research abroad, or their lab may be too full and not there may not be enough of like available funding. So these things are important, so you're not wasting your money on applications, because those cost and those are expensive. So that's actually something that I did not do, which is what I deeply regret. I psyched myself out of it. I didn't feel like I was competent enough to talk to a professional, a professor, a researcher about research that I was interested in, and me not knowing like concretely what I wanted to do with my life. I kind of psyched myself out, but you know, whatever, we're here, so it's fine. Another thing that I would do is look at the department website and look at the courses. So this way you know that besides your required courses, you are able to take electives that will further you in your knowledge and your research interests. Because if you are going to, let's say you're going to a graduate school that's really focused on like child development, but you're into, I think it's gerontology, which is like the research of older people, and they don't have any electives on that, like you're wasting your time, because you're putting all of the pressure on your advisor to help you when you still have to do your research on your own, and you still should be learning things in class as well. The sun is kind of setting if the lighting is changing, but I'm gonna try to speed through this, so we're gonna be stuck in the dark together because y'all don't want to see that. But so next you have to like do your application, make sure your personal statement is really good, which I advise you'd have people look over your other professor. I advise you to have other professors look over your personal statement and your application before you send everything in. Also, a very big part of graduate school is going to be the GRE, which that's my worst enemy. Like if it's somebody, something, somehow, somewhere that I don't mess with, it's that GRE. I'm not a good standardized test taker. I don't like timed exams. Like it was just so much pressure and stress put around it. Like it was just not for me. And on top of that, I was working 3 jobs in undergrad, along with classes, along with being active on campus. So unfortunately, I could not find the time to really dive into my GRE prep. So that is something that I put in my personal statement, like, hey, like I can see that this GRE score is probably gonna scare you and make you wanna toss the application in the trash, but it's not a reflection of my intelligence. It's not a reflection of my willingness to work, my willingness to learn, my willingness to progress. I have all of these qualities that make up for this score, you know? So just make sure you communicate that, because you don't want to be judged by that and kind of don't address it, because you just don't want to leave the person on the other end in charge of determining your life, and like, oh, they probably just ain't care or something like that. So just make sure you communicate exactly what it is. You know, if even if it's your GPA that sucked, like this is why my GPA sucked, like make sure you clear the air basically. Then I'll just talk about my like experience with tech. So I got accepted pretty fast, which was really exciting because I didn't think I was going to get into any place, even though I had really good grades, but my GRE score sucked. So I didn't think I was going to get into any anywhere. I didn't think I was going to get into any grad schools. So after I got in, you know, they like schedule a student visit with you, and this is when you and let's say like 8 other people, depending on how big the program is, they fly you out there. Like we had like a hotel. We each of us had our own hotel room. They fed us so much. We did things in the city so we could kind of see like how it would be to live in this place when most of us were not even from Texas. So that was really nice, and you get to meet most of the people in the department. You get to meet faculty and staff. You get to meet other graduate students. You get to ask other graduate students, like current graduate students in the program, like, so what's the tea? Like,
So I'm thinking of working with her, but I'm in between Dr. Such and Such and Dr. Such and Such. Who do you recommend?
and they're gonna give you the raw, uncut, like,
I love her, but her work habits or her delivery sometimes isn't the best. So depending on what you need to.
you know, they just give you the tea. They give you the tea. At the visit, they present you with the package, and basically this is your financial package. This is how much you'll be getting for scholarships, stipends, assistantships, whatever the case may be, like how your education is going to be funded. I also found out that you can negotiate these things. I did not know that. When I first got my package, I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, do you have any questions? And I'm looking like, should I have questions? Like, it looks pretty good to me. Catch you on the flip side. I wish I would have known I could have negotiated, because I mean, why not negotiate for more money? Like, there's never too much money that you can have, especially while and being in school. But that is something very, very nice about like PhD programs, that they do fund you. They make sure you are you know, set depending on the school, depending on the program. So yeah, then after that you can choose to accept or decline. And these are such nerve-wracking emails to send out. I say if you have to decline, and if you know that you are not interested at all in the program, make sure that you decline early, because there may be someone on the waiting list, or you know, someone really trying to get in and this is their number one school and you're not interested at all. If you cut the tie earlier than later, sooner than later, then you give other people the opportunity to take your spot if it is a spot that is unwanted. But sending emails, acceptance emails, or like declining an offer, no university takes anything personal. Like, you can only attend one place, so like make sure you do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, you are the person that has to experience all of this. So yeah, that's really it for like my graduate school experience from beginning to end. Not end, but like getting into grad school. So yeah, thank you for tuning in to Grad School 101, and I would love to see you guys back at my channel again. And please hit that subscribe button, please. And I'm gonna link all my social media accounts down below, so don't be afraid to stalk me. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye.